The Steam Next Fest is an event where game developers like me can show off demos of their games. And I and a few others were invited to participate in the next one in February. The only problem is that currently I neither have a demo nor the needed trailer. So today I'll show you how I try to change that. First I have to write down everything that I still need to do, which is quite a lot, so let's better get started. Saving is quite awesome, because when you accidentally hit that annoying child again, or fail to ask your crush out, or cause a nuclear meltdown in a children's and puppy hospital, you can just reload the save file and everything's well again. But how do games even save stuff?
Made a game and everything plays nice, but first we access the save system and we do load. So if you're looking for a more long-term solution, I really recommend picking up an asset like Easy Save.
Well, if Bracky says so, it will hopefully be a good investment into my game's future. Oh, by the way, you still don't know what my game is about. Well, it's a city builder where your playstyle directly impacts the environment and people of your city. And if it sounds somewhat interesting to you, you can even wishlist my game on Steam. Oh yeah, by the way, I didn't use Easy Save in the end. To explain why, I first have to explain how saving actually works. You can save numbers like money or residence quite easily by just writing them directly to a file. But if you want to save more complicated objects like roads and buildings, you typically only save the values needed to recreate them when loading. But you have to do that for every new spawned object in your game, which I thought would be a lot of work. But it was quite easy in hindsight. But what's with Easy Save now? Originally I posted a video using it on my Discord channel, and yeah. Jokes aside, they actually helped me out a lot, so thanks for that again. Now I know that Easy Save might make a lot of sense for other games, but probably not so much for procedurally generated ones like mine. So yeah, I kinda lost a lot of money because I was dumb, but I bought it on sale anyway, and yeah. Did you know that wishlisting is the best way to support poor solo developers like me? Oh yeah, by the way, did you ever wonder how it looks like behind the loading screen? Here you go. Sorry to disappoint, but I will create a loading screen later, simply for a reason that I want to add fun loading text. But that's something for future, Alex. Meanwhile, if you have any good loading screen messages, let me know them in the comments down below, and I might add them to the game. Saving the humans and cars, on the other hand, was a bit more difficult, because I have to save their progress and routes. And in the beginning, some people suffered some slight brain damage and weirdly followed each other to one ominous point. But after destroying the god, they don't go there anymore, so that's that. They might still have some brain damage, but it works now, so that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Now you probably also want some control over saving, so I made a little escape menu, and I just love what happens when you constantly open and close the menu. If you haven't noticed, I also redesigned the whole UI, and I also added a little status bar about your building requirements. Oftentimes I'm being asked, "Hey Alex, how do you always come up with these crazy good looking UIs?" Well, thanks for asking. I painstakingly analyzed every game in existence. Yes, even a hateful boyfriend. Resulting in me figuring out a secret formula that directly predicts the success of a new game. I'm not gonna explain every detail, but the most important part is the amount of hexagons in a game is directly correlated to its success. A good example is Minecraft. Oh, you didn't notice? Enhance. All of Minecraft's blocks are made out of little hexagons. And well, if you multiply the amount of hexagons each block has by the amount of blocks in a Minecraft world and put this number into my formula, you get to the obvious conclusion that Minecraft was destined to be a success. This obviously means that I have to add way more hexagons to my game. So I created the ability to place more islands, and because some weird people enjoy the hexagon-less coast, you can also add empty islands to your domain. Of course, while we're at it, rich people probably don't want to live with the plebs below them. So you can also visually divide the poor from the rich, if you so choose. Now the next step is where the fun part begins. The research system. Most city building games just give you new buildings when reaching a certain population size. But as someone who loves factory building games, I always found this really boring. Instead, I wanted to add research facilities where you can research new buildings, upgrades and laws. The more research buildings you have, the faster you can develop new skills. But of course they cost a ton of money that you'd maybe rather spend on more important things like food or water. But I'm not gonna stop you, it's your game, so you decide what you want to do. On top of that, each skill requires a minimum intelligence level, because someone who can neither read or write most likely won't invent portals. But if you want smart people, I need schools. So I modeled one, and now you can place it to increase the IQ of your citizens. And I don't want to promise too much, but having a low educated population probably will lead to all sorts of disasters. I mean, just look at the US. Finally, I added the last building type, which was water. And while I'm at it, I also added some water pipes and electric cables, which are definitely not the same pipes, but with a different color. And to distinguish all the buildings a little bit more, I added a monochrome effect in the building highlight box. And oh no, I barely have any time left to make a trailer before the deadline ends. So I'm just gonna make a really bad one really quick. And after countless minutes of work, here it is. I managed to finish everything in time. Now only the most fun part is left, balancing. But balancing everything and connecting the buildings to consequences takes way more time than I would have thought. So I probably still need a bit until I can even let playtesters test out my game. But when I'm finished, I'll probably need some alpha testers. And if you don't want to miss that, subscribe.